As Toronto tries to come to terms with last week's mass shooting in Greektown, support continues to pour in from right across the city for the grieving community. Last night, TTC workers walked the Danforth in memory of the 2 young women killed and as a show of support for the 13 others who were injured. The event began at Chester Station and went to Alexander the Great Parkette, concluding with a poignant moment of silence. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Mayor John Tory will join the mourners today as shooting victim Rhys Fallon is laid to rest. The 18-year-old who had planned to attend McMaster University this fall to study nursing was celebrating a birthday with friends when she was shot. Also killed was 10-year-old Juliana Kozis, who was out having ice cream with her family. 13 other people were injured, some critically. The investigation continues into the gunman who was found dead after exchanging gunfire with police. Well, Queen's Park will be the site of a protest this morning aimed at the Ford government's plan to slash the size of Toronto City Council to half. Last week, upon hearing of the province's plan to reduce the number of seats on council by 22%, or 22 rather, seats, that would leave just 25 councillors in the chamber. Inside Queen's Park, the government is expected to formally introduce the bill to make those cuts. With the PCs holding a majority in the legislature, that bill could easily pass. Several Toronto councillors have publicly applauded the province's plan, including Michael Ford, Jim Karagiannis, and Giorgio Mammoliti. And it's an early start to the morning for Mayor John Tory. He's set to make an announcement about the TTC at 7 this morning. The mayor will be joined by TTC Chair Josh Cole and Councillor John Burnside to count down to the implementation of the hop-on, hop-off transfer. The 2-hour transfers will be rolling out next month for Presto card users. Stay with us, of course. We will have Mayor Tory's media conference live at 7 this morning. Well, in a dramatic shift of policy, the Ontario Conservatives may be planning to allow for private stores to sell pot. Now, of course, this goes against what the Liberals were proposing here in the province this month, rather. It was last month after the election that Premier Doug Ford mentioned that this may be the way to go in terms of privatizing the sales itself. Instead of going through to LCBOs, this will be done through private sales. It's something that reportedly could be proposed as early as today in the legislature. Now, stay with BT. Tyler James of the Ontario Cannabis Consumer Retail Alliance will be joining us with more on this issue just after 7 o'clock. A man in his 40s rushed to hospital with critical injuries after being struck on the lakeshore last night. It happened here on the eastbound lakeshore near Coxwell at around 9:30 p.m. The driver remained on scene to talk to investigators. The victim was taken to hospital via emergency run. No word yet on any possible charges. The roadway is now reopened for the morning rush. A man and a woman are in hospital with life-threatening injuries after they were found on the doorstep of a downtown church. This is a live look now at St. James Cathedral at King and Church Streets. The attack happened overnight, but it's not clear exactly when or how long the victims were left on the church grounds. They were found a little after 3 this morning by someone walking a dog. So far, there's been no arrest and no description of a suspect. It's been nearly a week now, and an East York family is worried sick. Their 15-year-old daughter hasn't come home. Last week, Sydney Lakiani, she went for a walk with her dog in the Cosburn and Coxwell area. The dog was found tied to a tree, but there was no sign of Sydney. Friends and family spent part of the weekend putting up missing posters, but so far there's been no word of where she may be. Now, Sydney is 5'3" tall, 160 pounds, with dyed purple hair up in a bun. She is wearing a black skirt, white T-shirt, and large hoop earrings. She may also be carrying a pink and black knapsack.